Hello, I'm Lily McNeil. I'm here to talk about the infamous book by H.P. Lovecraft, Necronomicon. You may be asking why I'm sitting here in this corner. Well, it was an inside joke from last year. Yup. H.P. Lovecraft, or Howard Philip Lovecraft, was born on August 20th, 1890 in Providence, Rhode Island. He was always interested in science and astrology, but could not go due to a lifelong illness. He lived in seclusion and poverty for most of his life, and his stories only began to show up in the magazine Weird Tales, known for his gothic tales of horrors and weird short stories during the 1920s. Some of his most notable works include The Call of Cthulhu, At the Mountain of Madness, and the Necronomicon. The Necronomicon is a book full of short stories written by H.P. Lovecraft. The book was published in 1923 and had gotten popular during the 1980s due to its increasing level of science fiction readers and magic-related communities that formed at the time. During 1924, H.P. Lovecraft married his future wife, Sonia Green. However, the couple only lasted 2 years before splitting up. After the marriage, she began working on more books. However, Lovecraft was barely able to support himself. Lovecraft died on March 15, 1937, from cancer in his hometown of Providence, Rhode Island. Two of his friends, August Derleth and Donald Wandre, made a publishing company called Arkham House to promote and preserve Lovecraft's work. The Necronomicon is a fictional book which is filled with incantations and spells which have been known to drive people mad. The book contains many stories about gods, history, and events, and how it ties together. The settings of the story are Mount Mashu, traveling alone in the mountains to east called Mashu, page 7. The book contains many different characters, the most prominent being Abdul Atzared, known as the Mad Arab, and writer of the Necronomicon. Cthulhu, who is a strong astrological deity that has the body of a dragon and the head of an octopus. Cthulhu typified as sea monsters dwelling in the great deep. Another character is the men in robes. Men in black robes of thieves came together over the place where I was. The short story in the Necronomicon starts with Abdul Al-Zawrahed, or the Mad Arab, describing his adventures, seeing different gods, and the Mad Arab felt as if he needed to write all his knowledge down before he died, so it could carry on. The short story explained how Abdul's journey began after traveling up the mountain of Mashu and finding a mysterious rock and people in robes. Abdul finds a great power and a lot of unanswered questions. He sets out on a journey to learn more about the power and who Cthulhu is, along the way meeting various beings and gods along with unlocking powers and knowledge. This book is proof of his findings and his spells and rituals to summon gods. This book contains information on gods, deities, and demons in the Lovecraftian universe, along with spells, seals for particular gods, and factions including demons and witches. The main conflict of the Necronomicon is the big battle against light and dark throughout the series, depicted a kind of Christian myth of the struggle between opposing forces of light and darkness, between God and Satan. The darkness wants to hurt humankind and wants to break into our world through the portal or door. These latter are the evil gods who wish nothing but ill for the race of man and who constantly strive to break into our world through a gate or door that leads from the outside in. The mood of Necronomicon is mysterious, ominous, and detailed. The book often using words like demons, spirits, and body of the possessed person. Another example is, and the blood of man is the blood of vengeance. And for detailed, he uses words such as tie 3 knots in a harp string, entwine around both right and left hands, and chant the following incantation 7 times and with potency will return. And I have seen the lands of farmers ravaged by their evil spells, scorched black by the flame and burning embers that descend from the sky. Yeah, that's a lot of detail. The theme of the book is knowledge. More specifically, knowledge can open your eyes up to a world you never knew existed. This theme is supported with the following. I wandered about the countryside in search of the key to the secret knowledge that had been given to me. And I learned of the spells that cause men illness, the plague, blindness, insanity, and even death. I learned of the various classes of demons and evil gods that existed, and of the old legends concerning the ancient ones. I was thus able to arm myself against the dread masochism who lie in wait about boundaries of the world, ready to trap the unwary and devour the sacrifices set out at night in deserted places. My opinion of the book? I've always been interested in theology and different kinds of ideologies, so when I saw this book on the list, I took my chance. The book is almost like a cookbook, explaining history and showing how to do spells. The book itself is designed to be a journal diary, only having a few stories inside. This made it a bit difficult to analyze, which was not fun. On top of this, parts of the book were written in older English, which made it difficult to understand. I did enjoy all the lore that was thoughtfully put out, all of the gods that were made, tying them into heaven and hell. The book is basically a guide or a preview into Lovecraft work. This book was written in an earlier time, but everything is written out like a modern-day series. I wouldn't suggest this book to just anyone. I would give it to people interested in summoning demons, interested in theology, and if you have an open mind. So yeah, this is my project for Mr. Ashworth. It took a long time, and I cried a few times while doing it, but I got it done with. I hope you appreciate this. This took a lot of hours, and my mom's calling me, so I gotta go. Bye!